There's a new show that will get you all thinking. Take one hopeful contestant and give them the chance to win a life-changing amount of cash. Then throw in 100 others who are there to stop them winning it.
Dermot O'Leary hosts the National Lottery 1 vs 100, including the Lottery Draws Live. Starts next Saturday at 7:35 on BBC One.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
I am Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And this week, we're coming to you live from the Glasgow International Comedy Festival! Calls have been made for Holyrood to be more family-friendly in order to hold on to its talented MSPs, or else both of them could decide to leave. A secret bunker from the Second World War has been found deep in a Borders forest. After finding the bunker, another search is being conducted shortly, this time to see if they can find the rest of the golf course. And a Cardiff man has been jailed after threatening police officers with a microwave. He'll serve 2 months, be stirred, and then serve another 2 months. Joining me are regular guest Jim Smith and comedian Sophie Duker, and facing them are stand-up Susie McCabe and the man of many voices, Lewis MacLeod. So this is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess the two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So Jim and Sophie, can you tell me our first story?
The Chancellor announced £30 billion in extra spending, specifically targeted at
hand sanitizer, dried pasta and UHT milk.
Among the measures is an emergency loan scheme to support
a run on the likes of tinned vegetables.
There will also be £5 billion to improve
the Great Loo Roll drought.
Oh, sounds like the best budget ever.
I think it's the now pandemic that is coronavirus.
What have you made of the coronavirus then, Jim?
Well, it's been a bit weird going to the market where there's all these old farmers that used to give firm handshakes, and now it's like you're entering some kind of swingers party. They're all like, aye, how you getting on today? All right, all right.
The answer is right. It's the ongoing coronavirus outbreak that's been dominating the news agenda for the past week, which has led to panic buying across the UK as folk prepare for potentially having to self-isolate. Supermarkets have now started rationing goods like toilet paper, hand gel and get well soon cards. Sophie, what about you? You've travelled here from London.
It's weird you mentioned swingers parties because all my orgies have been cancelled recently. It's very hard. I feel like it's weird because with coronavirus, everyone's like, how will it affect industry? How will we do business? And all I'm thinking about is how are we going to get busy?
Yeah. What about you, Susie? You self-isolating yet?
Do you remember when self-isolating was just called staying in? They're like, oh, I need to self-isolate. Oh, I need to get the Just Eat guy to leave my takeaway at the door. Shut up. Sit in the house with your snottery hanky and give me peace.
Lewis, what are you thinking about coronavirus?
Well, I mean, I've been self-isolating for years. I'm a voiceover, so I sit in a booth having people stare at me weirdly for, a day. But I think about Trump and I think how ridiculous it is. He's just basically making it up as he goes along, we're banning travel from everywhere in the world except UK. UK's okay. We're banning it from China. China. They started at the Wuhan clan.
Anybody seen evidence of this panic buying?
Yes. So I went to a supermarket not that far from here about 2 days ago, and they had loads of toilet paper and loads of kitchen roll and loads of vegetables and got everything in. And then I went to the alcohol section and the lager was running low. The wine was looking minimum. Then my mate, who lives in a posh suburb of East Wren, messaged me going, I've just been to the supermarket and I can't get rice, potatoes, pasta, toilet roll or sanitizer. And I was like, move to the East End, hen. Because...
I feel like I'm too late to panic buy, but I feel like there are a lot of smug couples that have panic bought. And there are a lot of people that are like, oh, well, we don't need to panic buy because we already have a lot of toilet roll. I'm like, why are you so proud of being anal? Pun not intended.
See the panic buying thing? I think everybody's been very short-term on it. You know what I mean? Like they're going, oh, get toilet roll, get hand sanitizer. No. I've stocked up on Easter eggs. I'll not be that come Easter Sunday. You've been in the house 6 weeks, you can't get chocolate. Oh, no. I'll be a millionaire.
It is, of course, coronavirus. Supermarkets have started rationing certain products to reduce panic buying. Customers at Tesco, Asda and Morrison's are limited to 2 packs of toilet roll and 3 bottles of hand sanitizer. And customers at Aldi are restricted to 4 swing balls and 2 electric foot spas. Now, to you, Susie and Lewis, what was the other story we were after?
It's the budget.
What did you make of it? Because obviously it was Rishi Sunak's first budget, only a few weeks after getting the job.
But Boris had to sack the first one to make it. This one worked.
Yeah, of course, we're talking the budget and Rishi Sunak's massive £30 billion spending plans for the economy. Rishi Sunak was accused by some of delivering a left-leaning budget, probably because he was trying to tilt away for the MPs that had been sitting near Nadine Dorris.
I don't pay any attention to the budget because it always works out that it's never really in my interest. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're never going to be like, we'll make lager 50 pence. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? They're never going to say...
That was the classic budget of 1978. Who can forget? VAT down to 7%. Up 4 places, fags, 22p.
I was born in 1980, so see when I look back and I see those budgets, they're like 33 pence a pint, I'm like, where did this country go? Now we've got minimal alcohol price, I'm like, get it back to 33 pence. Come on. Because you know what alcohol kills? Coronavirus.
Perfect solution, that. Sophie, what about you? Did you manage to catch any of the budget?
Yeah, I looked at it and I really wanted to not like it. I was like, oh, Rishi Sunak, he's a bad man, but he's kind of like a cool stepdad. He's like, I know you don't like me, but here's some money to spend at the shops. Like...
Rishi Sunak put aside a lot of money to be spent on transport. Where would you put the money?
Instead of flying away to hot places, we should put some undersoil heating in, like, an island like Millport or something and build a roof over it. You know, get some right proper sand in there, get a wave machine in there. And...
I'm quite liking this.
Flume.
Are you just describing the Magnum Centre?
Well done, Susie and Lewis. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of coronavirus and the budget. And at the end of the round, the teams are all square. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion. So for this round, we've gone out and about and found some people to comment on the news. This week, we spoke to Sean and Daniel from the Well Park Brewery in Glasgow. So, Susie and Lewis, what story do you think they're on about here?
It's weird that people think that it is on the rise as I grew up with it, so it was a normal life for me.
Well, I mean, I'd never had that luxury. I'm maybe a bit surprised that it's something that's come back because it's not something I've really seen.
Clean my house, prepare dinners, lunches, look after the dogs, walk the dogs.
Oh, I see.
Is it something to do with privileged people having people serve them dinner? And
It's exactly that, yeah. The list probably at the end there gave you that one. It's the news that traditional butlers are making a comeback as Russian oligarchs, Arab sheikhs and rich Americans are looking at them as an essential lifestyle accessory of the super rich.
Bring me my dinner. You're not going to get that with a glass of easy, is it?
Oh, imagine Boris. Imagine being Boris's butler.
Oh.
I just had today, I just chiseled him to death. I couldn't. What's that, mate? You are no right. Went out the back and grabbed a slab and dropped it right on that blonde napper, you know what I mean? So, yes,
Sorry,
officer,
Ian.
I was the one who done it.
Do you know what? You're not actually far from the truth, because the Rossett Butler Academy in Paisley
This is what it
exists. There's a genuinely very successful Butler Academy. Jim, what about you? The return of the butler. Is this something that you think could be a feature in your life? Could you have a man in white gloves do the lambing for you?
I've polished up the John Deere, Jim, that's outside.
I got your red diesel that you requested.
I like Billy Connolly, you know, like in Mrs. Brown.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I've got your horse for you out there, love. All right? Now, I'm only saying that, it's the only decent impression I can do. And, you know, that's the horse is just on a jobby in the gravel.
So, for any old jobs that have gone away that you'd like to see brought back?
I was like thinking of old jobs, but some of the stuff I thought was jobs wasn't actually jobs, like a dumbwaiter. I thought that was a person, and I also thought that a lazy Susan was just a woman who just sort of rotated. So I'd like to bring those back.
Yes, modern butlers are back. A good butler is fiercely loyal and does exactly as they're told. Famous examples include Batman's Alfred, Bertie's Jeeves, and Dominic Cummings' Boris. The return of the butler is the correct answer. 2 points go to Susie and Lewis. Now it's you, Jim and Sophie. Here's Sean and Daniel again, but what are they talking about here?
It's certainly things that people have been doing for a long time that haven't changed or maybe people haven't given thought to.
Two areas that I feel that a lot of people are going to have difficulty having to give up.
I think I've been in a plane once in the last 2.5, 3 years, and that was for a stag do, so needs must.
Jim, did you have any thoughts on what the exact story might be?
Yes, I reckon to save the planet by 2050, we're going to have to cut out virtually eating red meat, which I must take issue with.
Yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on this one, mate.
Because, no, the thing is, no, I know it's a comedy show, but the thing is, you see, the thing is...
Who told you that?
And they're going to have to cut out flying, so if you don't want red meat, we have to rely on seasonal veg, okay? Which in the wintertime in Scotland is like sprouts, neeps and tatties.
Yeah.
So if there's no planes either, I mean, it's all very well saying cows are killing the planet, but all that fancy veg has to be flown in.
Yeah.
So think about it. All I'm trying to say is that, you know, stop giving the cows a hard time. Because, no, seriously.
You're absolutely right in your answer there. It is the government-funded research group that says the UK cannot possibly hit the target of becoming carbon neutral by 2050 unless we stop flying and eating red meat almost completely. Are you buying into this, Sophie?
I'm trying to be more plant-based, like a little flower. I'm trying to be more plant-based, but the thing is that there's some vegetables that are nice, like fried onions, and some vegetables. I think vegan cheese is a hate crime. I don't think... It's disgusting. I can't eat it. I had like a vegan burrito, which was just sort of like a lettuce leaf with chickpeas, and I was like, that is not a burrito. It's like when a kid shows you a picture that they've drawn, and they're like, this is an owl, and you're like, no, it's not. You're bad at what you do. I think we shouldn't encourage children or vegans, is what I'm saying.
Susie, what about you? Obviously, we've had this bit of research coming through saying, look, we want to be carbon neutral, we want the environment to be in a good shape, we want to do our bit.
I actually walked here the night, so pretty much Greta Thunberg now.
What would we be willing to do then to try and make climate change possible? What are achievable things that we could do to help the climate change?
Try and teach your parents to recycle. Have you tried that? What a laugh that is with two colourblind parents. Also, see the other week, I was watching my binman, and I'm not getting down in the binman, right? But do you remember when binmen used to have to, like, lift bins? And, like, empty a bin, now they're like that, la, 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 la. They come out like Debbie McGee, la, 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 right? It's a bin, and then they present it to the machine, and it lifts it. and it drops it in, and they're like, la, 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 la. They take it back, right? And I was looking at them, and they were just spilling rubbish everywhere, and not even picking it up. And you're like, you've just dropped rubbish in the street that I have sorted out to put in a bin, and now you can't be bothered to pick it up while you're standing there next to the rubbish and the big van, mate. Raging.
If we could harness your rage, Susie, we could power the nation.
We could, quite honestly.
Absolutely. Jim, what about any alternatives then? If we're seeing the measures that are being suggested are too extreme, what could we do to help with the climate change?
Well, I saw a thing in New York, and it's a floating gym. Right, it's a boat, and nobody goes on the gym, and it powers the boat to take them up the river.
So you're
to go
doing
to work.
the cross trainer or the exercise
Aye,
bike?
so it's like a train, you know, if you're getting the boat to Millport, you've got to do a turn. So you're getting fit and you're going to Millport.
That's a great idea.
You know, but you know.
Yes, carbon targets is the correct answer, and 2 points go to Jim and Sophie. You're tuned to Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I'll play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Jim and Sophie, you're first this time. Who is this?
Thanks to the wonders of the internet, of course, I'm broadcasting to you throughout the entire world.
Oh. Sophie, go on then, identify who does that voice belong to?
That belongs to one man, George Galloway.
It is George Galloway in the news this week as he is to become a father again at the age of 65.
I mean, he's been married like 3 times before. This is like, is he? I think he should stop. I think he should just stop.
I think it's going to be his sixth kid, I think, which it's weird. The women that he's been with were in labour longer than he was. Left the party in 2003. Jim, what about yourself then? People talking about George Galloway. He's actually been talking about this himself, being a dad at 65. He thinks it's a great thing and there's no problem with it.
The baby's due in July, I think, in the summer. And I'm going to be a father in July.
You think it'll be the same day, mate?
I don't know, as long as it's not in the same hospital, but being from Perthshire, I think we'll be safe because George won't get anywhere near Blair.
Lewis, you've met him, haven't you?
I have met him several times.
Just could you imagine George Galloway being your dad?
I think that'd be brilliant. You see, the thing is, when he kicks off, as we've all heard him do, you know, and it gets very passionate, there's always somebody mediating that on the show. Now, you know, OK, George Galloway, thank you so much. We have to move on now to Nigel Farage. No, let me speak. But if he's your dad and that's at the dinner table, where does that go? I have told you, you are not getting any more soup.
Can you imagine taking all these letters on the fridge and getting the kids to spell indefatigability?
Well, I'll come to you, Susie. So, George Galloway is going to be a dad at 65.
She's an anthropologist, isn't she? That's her career. Like, just dusting down old stuff and see if it works, basically. Clearly it does.
He said he's going to have more, isn't he?
He's not stopping.
Well, he's not saving the planet, is he? What about if we all stop eating red meat and he puts on a condom? Because he's like creating more people that the world doesn't need.
But in the last election that he went for, noted this, West Bromwich East, he got only 489 votes. Do you think he's trying to father enough kids to try and win an election?
He will have grandchildren who are older than their uncle. Like, how very elderly, George? Do you know what I mean?
So, George Galloway is going to be a dad again at the age of 65, passing down his wisdom to the new child in his life. What about your own life lessons you've learned from your parents? What has our panel ever got in terms of advice from their parents? Sophie, have you been handed down some pearls of wisdom?
Yeah, my mum's quite fun. She told me, what I think is quite poetic, actually. She told me, life is too short to drink bad wine.
Oh.
Yeah, life's too short to drink bad wine. And I was like, Mum, you shouldn't be drinking wine on the school run. Good or bad, don't drink so much wine.
Lewis, what about you? Did you ever get any great advice from your parents?
Well, my father was a detective, and he was also very religious, and he said, life, son, is a miracle. Now, you and I both came into this world through a pair of legs, and that proves there has to be a God. That's what I did.
You can see why comedians end up the way they do with advice like that. Susie, what about yourself? Any pearls of wisdom from your parents?
Oh, aye. This was quite profound, and I didn't really kind of get it until I was like in my 30s, and my dad went, see if you know you're doing wrong, I've done my job. See if you know you're doing wrong and you want to go and have a drink or take drugs or whatever you want to do, and you know it's wrong, I've done my bit. See if you don't know that you're doing wrong, that's where I failed you, so you live and die by your own choices. And I was like, no bother.
Any other thoughts on parentage or George Galloway?
Don't steal your parents' car. I did that for a season. Because my father would come in from work and have his dinner, watch the telly, and he'd fall asleep. And I'd figure out a system. As soon as he fell asleep, I'd put the blinds down, and I'd go out and I'd put the car into neutral, and I'd just sort of freewheel it back, and then start the car, and off I go. Until one night he decided, hey, I'm going to go for a walk.
Oh.
His car wasn't there.
So he thought his car had been stolen?
Aye. But my mother managed to stop him from calling the police, because I think she knew that because the keys were gone.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you, he sounds like the worst detective I've ever heard in my life. My son and my car are not here every night. Wonder what it could be. Anyway, 2 points go to Jim and Sophie. Of course, that was George Galloway. And to you now, Susie and Lewis. Who is this and why are they in the news?
But really, at the end of the day, it was just me up there. And so it was hard to take on, and it was a lot to take on by myself.
It's Ellie Goulding, isn't it? Moaning about being a millionaire in her 20s and how difficult her life was. Shut up, Ellie. Well, my 20s were a mess. Everybody's 20s were a mess. I'm 7 weeks into my 40s and it's still a disaster, Ellie. Chill out, hen.
It's the news that singer Ellie Goulding has confessed that she felt like a total mess in her 20s and cringes at some of her older songs and her goth look. Sophie, what about you? Are you...
Oh, yeah, I remember my 20s like it was yesterday, because it was yesterday.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't yesterday. It was last month or something. I just turned 30.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
She's sexy now.
Yeah, we're in the East End of Glasgow. That technically now makes you here a grandparent. So...
Yeah, it's good. I think it was weird because, like, the whole end bit of my 20s, people wanted me to be very ashamed that I was turning 30 because it's like a big milestone, so people would always just be like, just say you're 20-something. Just say you're like 20-something, which is weird because it's like medical information. We should be upfront about it. You don't get asked what your blood type is and you're like, oh, it's a consonant.
Jim, what about yourself, mate? Talk us through your 20s.
Oh, it was a wild time. It was good. It was good. 20.
Come on. How wild
Young
are we
farmers'
talking?
barn dances in the middle of nowhere, mate.
Yeah, they can get pretty wild.
I know. It was good. Good times.
Well, I also think that you get a lot of this chat now about what you would say to your younger self. And with Ellie Goulding talking about being in her 20s, let's do a bit of time travel. Lewis MacLeod, go back and speak to your 20-year-old self. What would you say?
Don't get into show business, son.
Susie, what about you? Go back in time then and speak to your 20-year-old self. What are you saying?
Do you know what I would say? I would just like, it's going to be all right. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a right mess of some stuff, but do you know what? It's seen end up. It's going to be all right. You'll still be alive when you're 40, so that's a miracle.
You'd be happy with that?
Aye, just being alive and just being happy.
Jim, final thoughts from you. If you could do this, go back and speak to your 20-year-old self, what are you saying to that young man?
Say, go to the bookies and put 50 quid on Andrew Murray to win Wimbledon.
I'm with you in that one. There you go. It is all about Ellie Goulding talking about life in her 20s. It's great being in your 20s, having parties with your flatmates. Well, your mum and dad, but still the same thing. Ellie Goulding is the right answer, and well done. 2 points go to Susie and Lewis. So time now for our final quick-fire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I like being angry.
That's Bob Geldof there talking about what motivates him to keep campaigning. Love it. Right, fingers on buzzers, here we go. What takes 10% longer on a Monday?
Listing the number of days before the following Wednesday.
That's the most logical
I've
answer in the history of this show. And that's why it's the wrong answer. What takes 10% longer on a Monday?
Saying to Craig David, no, I'm not coming out with you tonight, mate.
The answer is deliveries to your home take 10% longer on a Monday. What has Alistair Campbell been doing since 2001?
Making new varieties of soup.
Mulligatawny. Well done. What has Alistair Campbell been doing since 2001?
Is it marathons?
No, although he has done a bit of that for charity. It's not that. What has Alistair Campbell been doing since 2001?
Spin classes.
Works on so many levels. Brilliant, Jim. What has Alistair Campbell been doing since 2001?
I think he'd been developing a very erotic drag act. I think she'd be called Ellie Galwar.
Ellie Galwar.
Ellie Galwar.
Alistair Campbell has been banning his wife from going to see Burnley FC, his favourite team, since 2001. I think that he thought that she was unlucky. Right, next up. People in Edinburgh are happy to pay £7.50 for what?
Nothing, because you will have had your tea.
I like being angry.
And there we go, the klaxon has gone. Bob has Geldof, and it means at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Jim Smith and Sophie Duker! And commiserations to Susie McCabe and Lewis McLeod! And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Just in. This week, Russia's parliament passed legislation that would allow Vladimir Putin to run for a fifth term as president in 2024. So we would now like to take the opportunity to congratulate Vladimir Putin on his victory in 2024. Lettuce has been grown on the International Space Station for the first time, proving that even the exploration of the galaxy can be ruined by salads. Coincidentally, space lettuce is what my uncle calls cannabis. And Ireland has closed its schools due to coronavirus, but a Scottish spokesperson said, "We're following the science, and the science tells us there is nothing to be gained at this point by closing schools." And when we say science, we mean the millions of parents who begged us not to have to spend more time with their kids. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!